Hey guys, welcome back to the Cross Creek Cut. I'm Kyle Brumley, and as you can see, we've got part of Brad down in here with us today.
Yeah, just about half. That's about as good as I'm getting these days. Yeah, welcome back. A week ago, I broke my arm and hand, so I had surgery. I'm back, and only about half of me's back, so that's probably good for everybody. But scouting fields right now, and this is not a lot of fun, sweating it out, but it is what it is. So what are we doing today, Kyle?
Yep. So we're sitting here July 2nd today, so right in front of the 4th of July holiday. For us here on the research farm, we're just kind of in the heart of foliar feeding. Just finished up corn, working on beans. And with that, I think there's three main products that we're observing with just everything we've seen this year with the weather patterns, the moisture early, the heat. Three things that we've got that I think really everyone should be taking a look at. So what do you think, Brad?
I agree. Being this close to 4th of July, Kyle's doing a bang up job of actually getting out. Bang up job. That's pretty cliche, isn't it? Whatever. Hey, he's doing a great job out there checking out fields, scouting, looking at your fields, our fields. And, there's three main products we really want to talk about that during foliar feeding you really need to be using. I don't care where you're at in America. I don't really even care what crop, really, to be honest with you, but we're going to talk about corn and beans right now. The big three are Exceed Nano Brown Sugar, Draft, and Tune Up B, which is boron, along with yucca plant extracts. So why are those three main components the biggest deal right now, no matter what you're foliar feeding? Obviously, majority of the corn's either pre-tassel or some corn's at tassel. These beans were planted earlier, and they're actually at R2. And so we've got a lot of beans that are just past the R1 stage. But why those three things? So Exceed Nano Brown Sugar is the number one. So you run an Exceed at a pint per acre, whether it's on corn, it's on beans. You're providing metabolism, you're providing sugar, you're helping that plant, stress prime and get through some of the stresses. There is some moly in that plant, some molybdenum, in that product. But the big thing is just getting that metabolism, help the stress, and just drive in some sugar for some extra energy, photosynthate. Now, draft. What's important about draft? Draft, I want to see on every acre, no matter when we're foliar feeding or when we're spraying. I want it on there because draft has kelp extracts in it. It does have some potassium in it as well. But the big thing is the expression of what draft does in the biological component nutritional piece is it drives the plant's ability to increase sugars. So whether it be monosaccharide or polysaccharide sugar, it's going to drive polysaccharide sugar and help defend against these insects out here, primarily Japanese beetles, that are actually feeding on these plants. The other thing is it's going to drive more of the photosynthate in the plant, allowing that plant to increase more leaf and also bigger leaves and allow the sun to be able to take on, the plant to take on more sun, increase the photosynthate. And the next thing being a Tune Up B. So Tune Up B is boron, 10% boron with yucca plant extract. If you want to know what yucca plant extract is, call us. We'll tell you exactly why that's in there and what's so important about that. But you've got to drive boron, a large molecule, into these plants for protein synthesis, nitrogen movement in the plant. And when you start getting plants in reproductive phase, corn obviously in reproductive where it starts putting a tassel out and the silks are coming out, it's now in reproductive. Beans are flowering. So Kyle, they're reproductive. Shocking how that works. These plants are in reproductive phase. You've got to provide more boron for them. And there's a whole mirage of reasons why. But those are the three big takeaways we want you guys to have. So we're actually at the manufacturer level now. We've got all our product in. So the manufacturers are done making it for this year. So when we say it's a 4th of July bang up deal here, I mean, we kind of aren't joking. We've got all the product on hand. We're filling everybody's orders, but there's only limited supplies left. So we want you guys to call. And if you're now starting to spray and looking at what foliar things to do, those are the three things that are the biggest takeaway right now that you can do.
Yeah, Brad, thanks for sharing that. Another thing that I think we need to think about while we're out there spraying today, as I heard you mention it just a minute ago, is Japanese beetles. And as you guys know, you've heard Brad and I talk a lot. We're not huge proponents for blanket spraying, fungicide or insecticide. The main reason being side. Brad, side meaning it kills everything. Both are beneficials and what we're after. But right now, I'm noticing out scouting probably more Japanese beetles than I've honestly ever seen in my career. And as we stand right here, we can show you guys what we're seeing just here on the soybean plot.
They're dive bombing us.
This one plant right here, we've got, probably 10 beetles just in the upper canopy. As we look out across the whole plot here, we're seeing a lot of window painting. And I'd venture to say that, this field and some of our other fields, we're getting close to economic threshold.
And what concerns me, Kyle, I mean, you see this, it's in the uppermost canopy too.
Right. So, there's where the majority of our sunlight interception, our photosynthesis, really our factories going on there. Another key takeaway to, these beetles feeding in the beans right now is, this field is close to shooting tassels. Silks are going to be coming out soon. Are they going to jump from the beans and, really go to those silks, which is what they really want to be eating?
Guarantee it's sugar, it's candy. They're going to move right over and start feeding right away.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Be out scouting your fields. Take a look. Probably in a lot of cases, especially around our home area here, that insecticide is going to be an important application.
Yeah, you hit it. I mean, everybody knows I'm not a big fan of using fungicide and insecticide unless we absolutely have to. And, I'm okay using it when we have to. And guess what? We're at a place where we're going to have to. And so starting next week, and maybe after this rain, we'll see what this rain does and wash the beetles off, maybe drown them, maybe it won't, I'm not sure. But if they're not and they're back feeding, we now are going to be putting insecticide on with this R2, early R3 pass, because we got to clean this up and we got to allow photosynthate, and we're going to be using our foliars the same time we're putting insecticide on. So it's not something I want to do, but I didn't want to break my arm either, but guess what? That happened.
Right.
So things happen, you got to change and you got to adapt to it, but the yield we got to protect.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hope everyone enjoys your 4th and stay safe.
Yeah, don't break anything. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. So have fun and have a great 4th of July.
Thanks, guys.